thing that I would say, have you done your research? Right? Have you done a comparative analysis?
Mm-hmm.
Have you understood the industry itself?
Those things that
What
you
is
just
the-
told. So welcome to the TEBsCLUB. This club inspires many entrepreneurs, and we are a startup community with more than 1,000 startups with us, more than 50 plus mentors with us, and more than 20 plus companies. So we are a community where an ecosystem globally. So we are very pleased and heartwarmly I'm welcoming you in the ecosystem of TEBsCLUB as a mentor and coach. So this O2-Drive, there's O2 means the obstacle to opportunity drive. It's a name that explains everything. The obstacles that are being faced by every entrepreneurs, every students, every like-minded people who wants to bring some change in the society. So those obstacles are being beautifully converted into their opportunities. Harshit Gupta, the founder CEO of Textra Technologies, he always inspires startups and businesses, having expertise as a business consultant. And the most important part is his specialization includes revenue optimization, process automation that leads to target achievements and overall firm establishment in any given niche. So we welcome you, Harshit. Welcome to the TEBsCLUB. So we begin with your O2-Drive journey. So the first question is most relevant and my favorite question of all time. How you are here today and the journey so far?
So how am I here today? So I'm here today by practicing a lot, learning a lot, and helping a lot, right? So this is a brief that I can say. And if you want to know where I started by, after finishing my college, after working for a particular company, not going to name them due to some reasons, all right? After working for them, I'm here. I have actually, helped a lot of people in terms of giving suggestions. And I saw that my suggestions were very, you can say, fruitful, all right? And after that, I started to see that there are some, potential. There's some potential for me to get into this industry and, help people. I went for a particular qualification that is required. I did my qualifications in the same, and now I'm a counselor and also a particular coach and a mentor. So here I am.
We always look up on the journey because we always say in our ecosystem that the journey matters, because through the journey we get along with the expertise and knowledges. Enlighten us with your mentorship journey so far that inspires you to choose this profession. What inspires you the most?
What inspires me the most is because at a certain region or at a certain time, time frame, I wasn't able to grow my early startups a lot because I wasn't mentored. All right, there was no one to handhold me and say that this is wrong, this is right, you should work in this way. There was no one. I was a SaaS-based company before, and I had to close that particular startup down because of certain reasons. And that was the place which has given me, this motivation that maybe I actually need to help other people as well, because they might be suffering the same that I am, suffering right now. So yeah, that's the reason I am here to help people, because I've been through where they are going right now. Like I've been in that particular mind frame, and I have seen them, suffer. I've seen myself suffer, because this is our baby. Our startup is a baby. We put in our blood and sweat and everything into it, right? We put in hours and hours of things. We work till 4 in the morning, international clients calling you, which means 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, not sleeping at all, giving your 100% to your particular venture. But when your baby fails, that's a heartbreaking thing. To be honest, that's a heartbreaking thing. And for me, that's the reason I initiated this particular thing, to help people. Because after gaining some knowledge from my first failure, I started helping people. I started telling them that this is the thing that I did wrong. And after that, I just initiated my journey as a certified counselor, and here I am.
let's decode the term MVP. How is a crucial part to be followed?
MVP meaning minimum viable product, right? A lot of companies also call this as a prototype. All right, you can call this as a prototype. If you are into, I am mentoring these few companies who always come to me with their prototype, not getting any pitch, not getting any, not able to pitch to VCs or angel investors. They have a lot of problems, right? So minimal viable product, why is it really important? You are in a startup, right? And you need to actually test the market for your particular service or for your particular product. You need a particular prototype to do that.
Exactly.
All right. In order to create your value proposition, all right. So in order to do that, you need to actually, test the prototype or test the MVP. When you do that, you will get your USP. And when you know the USP and install that in your business model, you can actually differentiate yourself in terms of price. There are 4 Ps, 7 Ps. You can actually take any kind of models like business canvas models, install your learnings in that. And after testing that MVP or that prototype, you can get a better knowledge out of how your product is reacting in the market itself. When you understand the consumption pattern of your product, you can actually, make further strategies to market it, enhance it, or develop it in a very efficient way. One simple thing. If you're going to pitch to, if you're a, you need some seed funding done at an ideation space, you need to get your prototype very, efficiently researched. You need to have a prototype. You need to have a research, documentation, which can be a qualitative or a quantitative research. We need both, which can support your prototype or your MVP. That's the thing.
I think prototype is the most important part for feedbacks. If you get the prototype done, you get the feedbacks from the customer validation, the viability, customer exact proposition for what they're asking for. And you are solving the pain of the society, like, solving a problem of the society. I think there you get the 50% done with your startup. So I think forming the prototype is the most important part, crucial part. How value proposition is presented as a business or marketing statement.
So after you have an MVP, right, you have a prototype done, then you need to add in a value proposition in it. You need to find a USP, right? You need to find a particular proposition or value that can be delivered to the clients. So after you have done with the MVP, you can understand what your particular clients want. All right. If they are, what is their reactivity towards your product? And when you understand that, you can understand what kind of needs you are actually, what kind of problem statement you are solving.
Correct. Exactly.
And when you do that, you can add it into your value proposition. And this kind of value you are actually giving to the clients. So it is very important. All right. So it's a particular system. It's a particular chain.
So let's decode by an example, like give some example about that thing. So
okay,
how can we amalgamate?
So you are basically an product-based company. All right. You are a product-based company. You are making a particular beautiful AI system. All right. You made a prototype. All right. And you needed some, research done. All right. You have a prototype. You ask a sample size of people. You select a sample size of people and you ask them to test run it. When they test run it, they tell you their experience with it, right? You ask them that this is the primary, problem solving statement, and is it solving it or not? All right. On the basis of that particular data, you can accumulate that is it solving or not, and you can also ask what kind of value you are getting from it. If you are using my particular AI, how this AI is actually responding. How this particular product is actually responding to you.
All comes in the feedback zone and all.
Yeah, all comes in the feedback loop. When you actually get to the feedback loop and you get the particular qualitative analysis of the particular, your particular sample size of people, that particular qualitative analysis can be helpful to you actually to identify the value proposition. And when you get the value statement, what you can do is after getting the value statement, you can actually install it into your value proposition, and you can use some tools which is like SKI model, systematic knowledge for innovation, right? Systematic, SKI model. Then another one is your value canvas model, value proposition canvas model, and then you can actually take this particular model and put it into your business canvas model, and then let's see how the reactivity is happening.
Okay, that's a hit and trial, and after that you will get a beautiful thing out of it.
Yeah, hit and trial and research is really important. Research not necessarily always means that reading something. Research means getting real-time data. Primary research is always really important. Secondary research you can do anytime, right?
Yes.
You need to take review from people. Take review to enhance your product.
The straightforward, get to the market. I think get to the market. That's it. Right.
Get to the market. Don't get to the market directly. Please don't do that. That's the biggest mistake, by the way, because you will be representing your brand over there. All right. You will be actually exposing your MVP or your prototype over there. Select a handful of people, sign an NDA with them and go for the testing. Why not? Show them your product, right?
Yes.
Because you need to actually patent that product. You are still building that. You need to prototype that. That prototype should be patented. That ideation should be patented and unique as well. All right. And it's still under development. Anyone can actually steal a particular prototype. If you want to go to the market, that's the biggest mistake.
Exactly.
Select a sample size. Yeah.
How to understand the target customer, like target market, because we just spoken about the value proposition and hands full of people to give the feedbacks.
So taking the conversation forward, like from that example only, now you have your MVP ready, you have your particular sample set ready, you have your particular R&D ready. All right. You can see who are the people who are liking your product and who are the people that are not liking your product. On the basis of that particular, data, you can actually accumulate and target your audience, right? Which kind of, is it in terms of, you can take certain factors such as demography, all right, geographical locations, all right, then technological advancement, adaptability to technology, all right, are they comfortable with technology or not, utility output, is this, so what happens is that if you are talking in a very complex form of, technology, let's talk about AI only, people are not that much adaptable to that. It needs a lot of deep learning. All right. If I give you a particular AI which has zero code, which has zero data into it, and I ask you to train that model, you won't be able to do that.
No.
If you have a prior, if you have a prior knowledge to it, then only you can be able to do that. Right?
Yes.
So one important thing is you need to identify who are the people that are, very adaptable, who are very, in resonance with technology. Age group can be defined. And a lot of different things can also be defined.
Like categories.
One more thing that I would, one more actually simple thing that I want to tell, please inform the target market about your particular product. Product information should be, you should actually teach them about your product. All right. That's also really important. Product knowledge is very important.
So that's why one word is there, like know your product, right? Beforehand, know your product.
Yeah. Know your product. But the thing is, they are not going to research on themselves. They're not going to research by themselves, right? You are the one as a startup who needs to teach them.
Yes.
Right? If you have, if you have an AI, you need to do deep learning. You need to tell them that this is how you do this. You need to guide them. You need to make sample videos, tutorial videos, have workshops, have, you can say, you can run campaigns, which is related to this particular topic. Educate your client, my friend. Once you educate your target audience, they will respond in a very immediate fashion. Okay, because they have a particular thing in their mind, their consumption pattern and purchase behavior will depend upon the product knowledge that you're gonna give to your target audience. That's also really important.
Exactly. So I think we have to, make them thoughtful with our vision also. That was exactly the vision of this product, what exactly the product can solve and what exactly this product means to the society.
Exactly.
I think that's the most crucial part, and there's the gap that we need to fill beforehandedly. Moving to the next question, is it important to use any metrics for company performance assessment?
Yes, it is really important to use that. All right, you have to actually understand that metrics. If you are a running, company, or if you are a startup, you need to have metrics. Some benchmark should be there. All right. Certain things should be actually, they have to be certain benchmarks. Two tools to actually establish metrics, to see if you are getting to the vision or not, you are achieving your goals or not, right? There has to be particular benchmarks, there has to be particular metrics, which is very important. Few metrics that you can actually, find is a comparative. You can do a comparative analysis between your competitors and see how you're performing in the industry. What is your market share in the industry, right? how much customers are, actually responding to your particular product. What is their frequency? Once you understand all these things, then I promise you that you can actually see where your particular company is going. In which direction is it going?
So you just, sorted the path,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Is it progressing or is it, going down? What's the path, right? How to monitor the success of your particular startup? Define metrics. That's the thing.
So some sort of examples for the metrics part, how the parameters can be set?
Some sort of examples, like if you are a startup, right? You are just getting into the particular industry. You can do comparative analysis between two or three of your competitors, and you can see where they are. What is their pricing strategy, right? And what is their basic marketing strategy, pricing strategy, different kind of strategies that they have. You can actually segment them in 3 parts, right? Write down your own strategy, other person's strategy, other three different companies, their strategies, and then see what's the difference and what are the results that they are getting by the strategy and what you are getting by your strategy. Then see their target market. All right, this is their target market. All right, and I have to actually look into my target market. What is the difference? Do they have a better working model, or do they have a better or high amount of, you can say, working capital with them? And on that basis, you can do a comparative analysis.
That's a real-time data.
Do that, yeah, real-time data. When you understand that this is the amount of working capital I have, and this is the amount of working capital they have. They are in a comparison of 100%. They are doing at a 90%. I'm doing at a 50%. But I have a particular, a limited amount of a very small amount of working capital with me.
Absolutely.
Which means at a capacity where I am doing far much better than my competitors.
When and where to consider company automation? Because nowadays, automation is the most crucial part. Everyone is shifting towards the automation part. And I think for the next generation, the upcoming generation, knowledge about AI or automation is most important.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can automate your HR as well, your human resource as well.
Yes.
Right? Then why do everyone thinks that, there's a technological automation that is only required?
Yes.
So that's the thing. If you have the capacity to automate your existing HR, right? On that particular note, you can automate your business effectively. You are sleeping, you're doing nothing, but your business is actually running. Right? Isn't that automation?
99.99% is automation.
What about the 0.001%?
The thing is, right now, as you said, we need to enlighten our customers, enlighten everyone about exact the terms how automation is doing. So I think the gap is the knowledge. That's it.
Yeah, that's the thing, the knowledge, right? And that's the problem with our generation. We think that technology solves everything. Technology doesn't solve everything. It's you who solve it, right? Because you're the owner of the particular company. So even if I say that I have some automated systems such as AI, right? Such as some applications like Calendly, or you can install automations in that. Some automated, email systems and these kind of things are there. They can solve certain amount of your problem, but the operational problem that is there in your company,
the human,
right? The human problem, it can be solved by an automation. It can be solved by an AI.
There comes the emotions, which where the
there comes the emotion,
yes.
The negotiation strategy, the closure, the conversion, right?
Yes.
The closure with the client, right? An AI cannot close your client, right? You need a person to do that. You need a sales team to do that. Right?
But because the communication, because the communication, it has to be vast. In automation, we have a similar and limited kind of communication and limited kind of answers, questions, and the process are being very much tracked. Yes, yes, exactly.
Autobots, chatbots, if you're going to use them, because this is also part of automation.
Starting of the conversation, but the ending of the conversation must go with any human effort, I think.
To be honest, I don't think so. A robot can close a deal, to be honest, with a person, with a human, right? If I'm doing a particular business, let's say I need a deal which is costing me 50 lakhs rupees, 50 lakh, all right, for this particular contract. An AI can solve that problem. Can an AI close that deal? A question.
Never did.
No, right?
Never did.
Because that's a hard-earned money, man. That's a hard-earned money. If I'm going to give a 50 lakh to a particular person, if I'm going to cut a check of 50 lakhs to a particular company, I'm bloody going to give it to the owner's hand, to be really honest.
Yes.
not in the robot's hand, not even in the employee's hand, to the owner. I would ask if I'm giving you this amount of money, like 1 CR, right? And I'm at a MSME, all right? I'm a MSME, right? And I'm going to invest this much amount of the money. A venture capitalist is giving you 50 lakh rupees of check. Will he give it to a robot? Will he give it to you, or will he give it to an employer?
Sorted that. We will give to the owner.
Right. So you as a particular entrepreneur need to understand this, that automation can always be both in technological sector and also in HR. HR, L&D is very important. Few things that I can discuss here is NLP. All right. And second is SHRM, Strategic Human Resource Management, and Neuro-Linguistic Programming. These two are very important.
How to understand the pricing and cost model function in any industry.
Yeah, this is very, very important. How many models are there of price? N number of models are there, N number of models, right? So many theories, so many strategies are there.
Evolving.
It's always it's always, a question of my mentees that how to price their particular products. First thing that I would say, have you done your research? Right? Have you done a comparative analysis? Have you understood the industry itself?
Those things that you just told earlier about the comparison and strategies, right?
Yes, exactly. Have you done that or not? If you have done that, then you will understand what pricing strategy works in a particular industry.
Know your product first. If you don't have any confidence in your product, how can you make someone confidence about that?
They make the visions, but not make the missions. The short-term goals.
Short-term goals.
They think in a very strategic manner, but not in a tactical manner.
Exactly. There's the lacking behind. There's the lacking behind. So thank you so much for the answer and the examples. That what are the satisfaction parameters for business models or anything else?
Successful parameters for a business model.
Yes. Or you can say the satisfaction. How can someone be satisfied that the current business performance is perfect?
You need metrics to do that. I've already answered that question, right?
In a way.
Once you have a metrics, once you have actually the metrics, then you can see where your particular business is going, right? And once you know where your business is going, you will be like, okay, this is my particular, target. I have achieved that. May it be in finance, may it be in terms of marketing. Wherever you want your particular, trajectory to go, you can do that, right? And on the basis of that, you can actually understand, am I satisfied with my business or not? Right? It's a very intrinsic question. Okay?
Yes.
What happens is it's a very intrinsic question. It is also very subjective, depending upon the person.
How can you just define and set parameters from the ideation level to an organization level? How the parameters should be set, and what are those statistics and those steps that an entrepreneur or a startup can follow that?
Okay, you need to see the parameters between the ideation level and the
organizational level.
The
journey. The journey. What was the parameter exactly?
Okay. What do you require? Let me ask you a question. Let this be an interactive session. So in the ideation process, what do you require?
First thing, the idea, whether it's solving the problem of in society or anything that is solving or not, whether the ideation is exactly viable or not, where the idea exactly putting forward your skills and your fortes, and the idea and the mission and vision. Was the exactly mission and was the exactly vision of that idea? I think those are the 4 parameters we actually go forward with.
Problem statement, visions and missions, and
yes. Whether it's viable or not.
Viability.
Yes.
You need an MVP for that, right?
Yes, exactly. The prototype.
So first thing what you need to do is add an MVP, make an MVP, right? Next thing what you need to do is actually understand how your market is, understanding the market. EG. Next thing what you need to do is actually set up a metrics, right?
Yes.
On which how to actually proceed.
So right? Here the customer validation and viabilities and everything comes along.
Yes, they are the parameters from the ideation to an organizational level, right?
Exactly.
The things that we have discussed right now. all of
from the
those
starting.
pointers
Uh-huh.
from the starting, from an MVP to this particular, actually, are you satisfied with your particular venture or not?
Uh-huh.
Right?
Let's come along.
That's where you go. That's the parameters. We have already talked about them. Ask me something new.
So the new thing is when I'm coming to the organization level and the satisfaction level. So like we comes along with the funding level. So how to overcome the funding problems?
Pitch deck.
Have
you ever made your pitch deck?
If I'm speaking about like the most popular sectors over right now, EdTech, the education technologies, EdTech.
All right, education technology. Have you ever made your pitch deck? I mean, how can you actually evaluate that your particular company requires a funding or not?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to scale it up? Do you want to pivot it? Why do you want to do that? You need to ask that question to you. Mm-hmm. If you have enough amount of break even and when to do that. Mm-hmm. That is also really important, right? How much liquidity your particular company has. The financials comes in. When you are actually very sound with the liquidity and very sound with the financials, then you can say, okay, now I'm here, I need to pivot it. All right. From the starting point, they see things, different startups work in a very different kind of way. All right.
Exactly.
If you're a product-based company, all right, if you're a product-based company, then you work in a very different way. You need seed funding from the ideation phase only.
Exactly.
Right. If you're a product and a service-based company, an amalgamation, then you need the particular, seed funding on the basis of product, on the basis of scalability that you want to happen in your particular company. Then only it happens. It is varied from company to company. All right. You can't have a specific answer. EdTech startup also is a very vast field. All right. What are you actually solving? Are you a virtual, are you a virtual company? Are you an LMS-based company? Or what kind of company you are? That is also very important. Are you a product-centric company or a service-centric company or an amalgamation of both? Important is that. Another thing, when you talk about investment, you need to see how your financials are performing. And if you are able to sustain or not. Because a venture capitalist, a particular budding partner or a particular any person who's going to come and invest with you will see your financials. We'll see if your particular idea, or if you're an ideation stage, you need some seed funding. If your idea is worthy of, getting to a point where you can give them profits. Because everyone in the world will invest in you only to get tips. Right? Unless you are doing some NGO stuff or CSR activity. Right? Of course. That's something else. Sure. And also one thing that I'm going to say, are you ready to actually dissolve your equity? You want to lose your overall control of the company or not? That's a really important thing.
And I think most of the startup, like 90% of the startups, are failing after getting the funding. So how can you say what is the reason behind that? Because 90% of the startup that we know are failing after the funding level. So what's the reason behind that?
The reason behind this is very simple. That after the funding is done, there is a particular problem in the work ethics of the particular funding, the person who is actually funding it, their partner, the funding partner, and then, all right, they said that I'm gonna give you a particular rocket to Mars, and they are not even able to build a engine of a rocket. Then do you think that this particular bond will survive?
That means the problem is in the deliverance?
The problem is in the partnership, my friend. For a particular partnership to survive, in terms of budding, in terms of a venture capitalist investing in you, you actually need to give them a particular result. All right, maybe financial, maybe what you promised as a vision to them. If they're not able to see that, they will pull their hands out. Stop giving you the network, stop giving you any kind of help, right? And that's the particular place where these companies fail, because they are not able to deliver what they have promised. So Saikat, you were right. It's a problem. It's a problem in the deliverance.
And that's the crucial truth of startup community right now.
So I have this particular incubator. I am head in this one incubator firm. And the problem that multiple people who come for an investment with us is this one. They do not know that they require the investment or not. Now, we as investors, we are very smart. We understand that this particular person is, actually, saying what he's saying. He'll do what he is promised. All right. So, pardon my language. He's not bullshitting us. Right? He's not bullshitting me, and he's gonna do what he's gonna promise me.
We only get 90 seconds. The investors and all of us only get 90 seconds to connect. If the people can't connect in 90 seconds, he is out of the picture. So we don't, ask them twice, ask them thrice. It's just 90 seconds. If the 90 seconds is over, he's out of the picture. That's it. Thank you so much.
So when there's a time duration, right? There's a particular time duration. You'll think before speaking, right? You'll think before speaking, and once you think before speaking, you will deliver, whatever is very important in your particular company, and you will try to pitch. You are actually, thinking before speaking. You are actually thinking, all right, this thing can actually give me a leverage in the negotiation with the particular venture capitalist. This thing can actually provide, a particular winning situation for my particular negotiation right now. This is how I can promise him, how to actually, deliver this kind of thing. So we promise over delivery. We promise something which is not deliverable.
Exactly.
Right? Mm-hmm. Just to win the situation, just to get the fund. Right? Keep yourself grounded, my friend. Keep yourself grounded and only say what you have researched.
That is the thing. When he is
talk the talk, walk the walk.
He's not ready, I think. Yes.
He's not ready.
Exactly.
Talk the talk, walk the walk.
Exactly.
All right, that's the thing.
Exactly. So I think the funding part, the most crucial part is defined by you is like we have, before coming to any VC, before coming to any angel investor, you have to, know your product, know the deliverance, what exactly you are going to deliver, and know the time period. And of course, you are ready with the equity shares. And thank you so much for, coming to our ecosystem and, accepting our invite. And
it's a pleasure.
And one more time, welcome on board, and as a mentor and a coach in Libers Club.